But first, 500,000 extra train seats from the Midlands are being made available for the Great Olympics Getaway, which is about to swing into action. Transport companies across the region are pulling out all the stops to get spectators to London safely and on time.
But the measures also come with a warning that the capital's roads will be busier than usual, and Games ticket holders are being urged to plan their journey well in advance. Ben Godfrey has this special report.
It's been a long journey to the 2012 Games. Now comes the big test on routes between the West Midlands and London. At Coventry rail station we met Linda and Belinda, who are touring Olympic venues. Their train was delayed yesterday because of a broken rail, leaving them with a dash to the city of Coventry Stadium.
If we took out the actual train journey to Coventry, and you started from Coventry, and hopefully now we're going out to Basingstoke to stay there to go to the Olympics next week. If you take that out, it's been superb.
With 1 million extra people expected to descend on London every day, train companies assure us they're prepared. London Midlands services will have 230,000 extra seats, but serving more of its southern stations. Chiltern has 120,000 extra, and Virgin says it'll have 200,000 extra seats for the 3 weeks of the Games.
Plenty of capacity, additional services. The night of the opening ceremony, for example, tomorrow, we've got trains leaving Euston at 12:10, 1:10, and then after 2.
But any bitterness from staff over long hours is being sweetened with a £500 bonus.
There's unsocial hours work, people having to volunteer to come in on rest days, so it's actually not just the normal job at all, it's outside of their normal job that they're being paid the bonus for.
Rail companies say they can meet demand because of advanced bookings, but what they don't know is just how many people will head to those unticketed events like the marathon and use the train. Large crowds, heavy traffic. We're all being advised to use public transport, but the introduction of Olympic lanes and diversion routes have caused early confusion. At its bus station in Birmingham, National Express says its drivers have had detailed briefings. It's providing additional services to the Olympic Park.
The great thing about coach travel is that we can duplicate our services at relatively short notice. So if we see huge peaks in demand, we can then work to putting extra coaches on to accommodate those people.
Just look at the number of passengers this afternoon, and the Games haven't officially opened. On rail and on road, those taking us to the Olympic Games are very confident of a smooth route, where the only event occurs at the end of our journeys and not in between. But what makes it so fascinating is that this is a first for us all. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today.
Well, we're joined now by our transport correspondent, Peter Plisner. Peter, it sounds like, well, the transport companies are confident they can get us all down to London, but do you share that confidence?
Well, let's face it, Sarah, they've been planning this for 2 years, so if they're not ready now, then they'll never be ready. I suppose the Olympics is pretty predictable because the people who will be going down to London will have tickets. But outside events, those events taking place outside the Olympic Park, that could be less predictable. The women's marathon, for instance, takes place on a Sunday. If the weather's good, many people may head down on the train on spec, and that could lead to overcrowding. But the train companies say they think they've got most bases covered.
Now, the other big transport story today is the possible closure of